thing that Bret wasn't. Hawani's obviously a bigger Bret Hart fan than a Shawn Michaels fan.
Yeah, so they kind of had a little bit of an argument, not argument, but like a little debate where MJF was saying like, oh, Bret is just kind of bitter and had his brain scrambled and all this other kind of stuff. But then at the same time being like, look, I'm not saying that he's not a legend and everything, but Shawn Michaels is better and all that. And I'm like, yeah. Just have a discussion. Just, don't have to package everything up with all that corporate speak and stuff. I like that. It's so much more refreshing. By the way, podcast, you should go check out everybody. The Will Sasso and Soder, Chris Van Vliet one, so funny. Definitely got to check that out if anybody's interested on that front. The impressions that they do are insanely good. Yeah, I kind of disagree with this guy in the chat about if Alistair tries, he could be the talk of the industry. I think that he's a talk of the industry in a bad way, like because everyone says shit about him. No, he couldn't be. Like his body is broken down by this point. He's like he can't wrestle at the same level he used to be. He's never been a great talker. Like he has an appeal to him because of the gothic nature of his appearance and the way that he approaches things. But he essentially came into WWE and just, did a half-assed version of Aleister Black's Karrion Kross's gimmick when he left. His time is kind of been and gone for any hopes of him being like a top guy. I'm sorry, you're obviously a big fan of his. I don't care. that kind of general thing. You lost. Suck it up. To each their own, and I do think that Aleister Black at one point was somebody who they could have gotten a lot more out of, but once you kind of hit that peak, and if you don't reinvent yourself or you don't do something that really makes you stand out or continue to be at that level, I kind of look at him as sort of the same situation as Rusev. Rusev, far bigger star than what he is right now. Now that he's in WWE again, he's just there. And Black was sort of just filling a spot. I don't think that was like one good angle away from being a two-time world champion or something like that. But anything could happen.
The other thing I'll say about Black positively for the most recent run is he did beat Randy Orton. He was supposed to be in that story. So I imagine if you told that to go from that to being released really sucks. But as far as like his AEW run and whether Tony fumbled him, I don't think so, because this is a guy who had a program with Edge and got to carry the trios titles and have the division built around his faction. He definitely got a huge push in AEW.
I think he got enough of a push that if it would have caught on, it would have caught on. Kind of the way that like other people have.
Yeah. People forget he destroyed Cody in his debut match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, he had the opportunity and it didn't catch on for one reason or another. Injuries being a factor in it. It's like it worked out then for him, then it's great, but clearly by all indications, even if it did work out for him in AEW, he didn't want to be there, so.
Let's pop over to speaking of people that are outside of the company and all, these reports that are happening about some people coming back to WWE, according to various sorts of, Dave Meltzer and other reports and all these other kind of things. So take everything with a grain of salt, because you never know for sure if anything's actually like, yeah, there's 100% truth behind that, or it's like, well, that's a little bit mixed up or something. According to a lot of these things in the rumor mill recently, Baron Corbin will be back in WWE like imminently, and that they're looking for more tag teams, and in the process to do that, either the one report saying they just want to team up singles people, which is very WWE, or the other one saying that they're looking to sign tag teams from outside the company, and that could be factored into Big Bill leaving AEW and returning as Big Cass with Enzo Amore, who may or may not have been actually around recently, according to various different reports again. So, at the very least, 3 names that are being circulated right now are Baron Corbin, Big Cass, and Enzo. And I have a couple different opinions about these. And I say that as somebody who, if you go back on different parts of this podcast, like, you'll see that, like, pretty much from the very start, I've been a fan of Baron Corbin. I really liked the Enzo and Cass tag team. Eventually, when stuff happened with Enzo, I didn't like that, and I don't know where that's standing right now, where, like, if they ever figured out what was going on with all the allegations that had happened with Enzo, so we might have to chat about that too. But Big Cass, Big Bill, Will Morrissey, whatever you want to call him in different promotions, I always thought that he had some untapped potential too. And man, I looked at a clip the other day before this story even came out, and it was a clip of that time. You guys are always way better off at this kind of stuff than I am, where whatever episode of Raw or SmackDown it was, that the mic wasn't working, and they did the whole my name is Enzo Amore and I'm a certified G, and like all the other kind of things, and the crowd was just doing it because the mic wasn't working right for those two. Like, they were over as fuck. So if they could capitalize on that a little bit, and if the Enzo thing is, yada yada problematic or whatever you want to call it, I'm down for all 3 coming back, as long as they've got something for them to actually do. If they're bringing them back and they're going to just do nothing with them, then I don't see the point, because then you just fired a bunch of different people. What do you mean you're looking for tag teams? You just fired Motor City Machine Guns and the New Day? The hell?
I'll start with Corbin, because I have nicer things to say about Corbin. I thought for a long time that he could become something. I think they messed around with him too much.